Hi, everyone. My name is Jennifer Green, and I am your adjunct professor for Texas government this semester. And I wanted to do this introductory video to tell you a little bit about myself and my kind of teaching philosophy, I guess, and then go through the syllabus, the ICR with you so that you can get a little bit of an idea what this class will look like and what the expectations will be. So I will say that I have been teaching at TCC as an adjunct professor in Texas government and federal government for a few years, and I absolutely love it. I have another job during the day. I work for a law firm as an attorney, and I can hands down say that my favorite part of my week is when I get to be in the classroom with the students at TCC. I do not like teaching asynchronously like this just because I really do feel like we have great discussions in class, and that's lost a little bit on the computer, but we're all doing our best right now. And so I just wanted to let you know that if you do take another class with me, that hopefully it will be in person. I really enjoy that. If you've taken a class with me in person, then you know exactly what to expect. There's not any changes. There's, this class is run just like any of my previous classes have been run. The only difference is usually, especially when we have a Friday night class or a Saturday class, that I bring candy and treats and things like that, just because I know that Texas government and federal government are super exciting for me, but I know that they're not for everybody else. And so sometimes you need just a little bump of something to help you get through constitutional amendments and the death penalty, things like that. So I will tell you that I got my undergrad degree in political science and at Texas A&M, and then I went straight from high school to college to law school, went to Texas Tech Law. Ever since I graduated, I have taken a few different bar exams, and so I'm licensed to practice in 5 different states, and my practice is mainly the defense of corporations. So just kind of all that entails. I don't know very much about criminal law at all, except I know some good lawyers to refer people to, just kind of jumping ahead. And if you want to ask me a question about a ticket you got or something, I will not be of any help there, except to give you the name of somebody else to call. The best way to get a hold of me if you ever need me is just shoot me an email. And if we want to set up, a conference, a WebEx or something like that, or a Zoom, that's perfectly fine. I don't think that we are allowed to have face-to-face meetings right now, but any other time, if you have any questions, if you have any concerns about your grade, about the material, please just let me know. I will try to answer emails as quickly as possible. None of this class will be synchronous, so that means you don't need a webcam. You don't need to set aside a certain time of your day in order to attend the class. You can, just as soon as the videos are up on Blackboard, you can watch them, you can go through the notes, you can, complete them. I won't say at your own pace because we do have deadlines in the ICR, as you'll see, but just kind of when is most convenient for you during the day. I think that I should add that my very first semester teaching government, I was super excited because I expected that everybody took government classes like I did when I was in college, which means I was super excited about it because I was a political science major. So I took loads and loads of government classes. And it wasn't until I kind of read some initial surveys and things like that, that I started to see, oh, this is a required class for you to graduate. And it really did help me shift my focus. I understand now that this is something you have to do, and it's not something that you're doing because you have a burning desire to learn the history of the Texas Constitution and why is it so dang long, things like that. And so I take that into account. I understand that that not everybody finds the discussion of government as exciting as I do. So with that in mind, I want you to leave this class having a better understanding about how our state government runs, how our state government is organized, maybe the different ways that your local government may be organized. And I want you to realize kind of the importance of voting, what goes into voting, and hopefully you will be an informed voter from now on, and if you aren't already. And so I just want you to have enough of a background that you can participate in this democracy that we live in. So with that said, I'm not going to quiz you on things like names of court cases or minute rules or nuances in the law or something like that. I don't see any benefit in that. That's not going to help you learn the overall concept and get you closer to the overall goal, which is becoming a more informed electorate, more excited electorate. So I just want you to kind of keep that in the back of your mind when you're listening to lectures, when you are taking notes, things like that, that I'm not going to put anything on a test that is going to be super tricky or super in the weeds, kind of in the details, okay? So if you're reading or if you're listening to lectures and you think, okay, well, I need to remember all of these specific dates, something like that, it's probably not something you're gonna need to concentrate on. But you are gonna need to concentrate on some big, big vocabulary, broad vocabulary, and broad concepts. So with that, I am going to pull up the ICR right now, and we can go through it some right now. So I have put my contact information on here. If you need me, don't call that phone number. It goes to the adjunct office, and I don't believe anybody's there. But you should email me, and we can talk after that. We can, figure out a time to have a conference on the phone or on Zoom or whatever you need. As far as drop dates, if you were thinking of dropping this class, I want you to talk to me first. You don't have to, but I would prefer that, just because I think that there are ways that we can work together if you need something. If you're not understanding something, I think that there's a way that we can meet in the middle. And so before you drop a class, I really would like it if you just shot me an email and let me know, and we can, and I'll tell you honestly, look, your grades, you've dug yourself into a hole that's going to be really hard to get out of. Or I'll say, no, look, we've got, tons of points still left in this semester. So let's see, that's all you should take away from the first page. The second page is a lot of information that doesn't really apply to an asynchronous class. Since you're not coming to campus, then if you want to carry a concealed handgun while you're watching these videos, be my guest. You're not allowed to bring it to campus though. You should read all of these things though, because this is a contract between me and between the university and you, and I want you to kind of understand what expectations the university has for you. The text is Texas Politics Today, and that is something that you can get through MindTap. If you have any questions with that, I can provide you some resources. I have an old school copy of the book, so I have like a real like bound copy with highlights on it. And so you know, if you have questions about how to, you know, access it digitally, things like that, I will get you to the person who is going to be best suited to answer those questions. All you need for this class is access to internet and Blackboard. And so everything's going to be on there, I promise. You'll be able to do everything you need if you have, you know, a computer and the internet. We are going to study the origin and development of the Texas Constitution, the structure and powers of the state and local government, federalism and intergovernmental relationships, and political participation, the election process, public policy, and the political culture of Texas. So your grade will be determined by exams. There will be 3 exams, 100 points each. They will be multiple choice, and they will be taken on Blackboard. So no essays, no, there may be true false, but there's not going to be any short answer or anything like that. You'll also have a final exam, which is not comprehensive. It is only over the last portion, the last unit of the class. It is also worth 100 points. You can take a makeup exam for one of the initial exams, the initial first 3 exams. If you miss one of those, or if you just whiff one of them and there's just, you know, you had a rough day and you need a do-over, then you can take the makeup exam. There's only one makeup exam though, so you're only allowed one of those rough days. And the makeup exam is going to be comprehensive, so it'll be over everything that was covered on the first 3 exams. There's an option for it to be some short answer or essay. I will just tell you straight up, I doubt that there will be any short answer or essay on that makeup exam, but there could be. And that the date for that makeup exam will be later on in the syllabus. There will be quizzes that will be taken online. Those are 10 points each. And they will be, you know, 10 questions, multiple choice, or, you know, true, false. There's not going to be, you know, sometimes there will be matching, but they're not going to be essay or anything that is difficult. The quizzes will be taken from the notes that go along with the lecture. So I will give you a blank set of notes that you will fill in. You can fill in while you're listening to the lecture. Your quizzes will be over that. That material you can use as a study guide for your exam for that unit. And I will give you, before the exam, I will give you all the answers so that you know what should be in those different blanks. And so you'll have the correct answer instead of, you know, an answer if you had a mistake or misheard something during a lecture. There will be 1 critical thinking assignment worth 20 points. And that will be a choice of 2 different topics. I have put a rubric on Blackboard, and it will be due during the second unit of the class. And so it will be in a slides, either Google Slides or PowerPoint format. So I would like to see some creativity. I would like to see no plagiarism. I would also like to see some correct spelling, maybe some pictures, things that make it an interesting presentation. If this was a class that we were all in person, I would give you the option of presenting your presentation for the class for extra credit. And then finally, we will have 10 discussion board comments. So I will have a topic that I'll throw out on the discussion board, and you will need to comment on that. And so that is how you will get your attendance points for the class. And so we will have a certain number of discussion board topics for each unit, and then we will, that's how I will take attendance in the class. You will have an option for extra credit. There are a few different ways that we'll do extra credit, and so when we get to those times in the semester, I'll say, hey, you can have extra credit by fill in the blank. And I will let you know how you get that extra credit, and it'll be worth 5 points, and you'll get a maximum of 10 points throughout the semester. So you'll have lots of different options to get extra credit. Okay, so the grades are based on this point scale, which is basically just, 89 to 100% is an A, down below that. So if you have any questions, it's just, it's easy in the grade book to just add up. And so let's see, I've already told you about the exams. They will be open for just a short period of time. You will only have one attempt to take the exam, okay? Let me say that one more time. Only one attempt to take the exam. And you'll have ample time, but there will be a time limit. So you can't just start taking it and then come back the next day and finish it. You're gonna have to sit down and take it in a certain amount of time. I promise you it will be more than enough time for you to take the exam. I think one semester, maybe last semester, I gave 3 hours as the time limit, and the average time it took people to take the exam was like 20 minutes. So you're going to have more than enough time, I promise you. The material is going to come from things that we discuss in class and things that are in your notes. So you'll want to make sure you have your notes when you are, preparing for your exam. Quizzes, I am going to give you a number of quizzes. Only the top 8 will be counted. So if we have 10 quizzes, you'll drop 2. If we have 12 quizzes, you'll drop 4. So I don't know how many, there may be more than 10 quizzes, and so, but only the top 8 will be counted. Let's see. There's not going to be any late work accepted. You've got ample time to do these assignments, and so the deadlines are going to be hard deadlines. So budget your time accordingly. I know that things come up, but things come up for everybody, and they're always going to come up. So you need to make sure you're prioritizing correctly, make sure you're organizing your time correctly, asking for help when you need help, not waiting till the last minute. Those are all lessons that are kind of built into the college experience, and that's something that we are definitely going to observe in this class. Okay, now the material that we are going to cover. Usually we would cover this more in a background, and then, a nuts and bolts, kind of background history, nuts and bolts of voting and elections, and then more interesting things like public policy and, law and constitution, things like that. This year, since this class is in an election year, which makes me very excited, we are going to shake things up a little bit as far as the organization. So we're going to go ahead and put voting and elections, political parties, interest groups, and local government all stacked in the first part of the semester in the first unit, so that you can be finished with that by the time it's election day on November 3rd. And then we will go back and start at the beginning, where we'll talk about our political roots and the political culture in Texas. where Texas fits in the federal system. And then from on to Unit 3, we will talk about the Texas Constitution and then the 3 branches, the legislature, the executive, and the judiciary in Texas. And then Unit 4, we will talk about public policy and law and due process, which I think is really probably the most interesting. You'll notice when we talk that I have an affinity for the Texas Constitution. I think it's very interesting. But also public policy and law and due process is very interesting. It usually is a great discussion topic, but again, not necessarily asynchronously. Now, really the only other additional class information you need to know is that you need to email me from your My TCC account, because if you email me from a different account, there's a chance it's going to get filtered out. The university is really good at keeping kind of spam out of those email accounts. And so there's a good chance I won't even see it if you send me an email from a different account. Don't plagiarize, period. There's no need for that. If you think somebody said something amazing, then you can just give that person credit at the end of your presentation. No cheating. So really, there's not a way for me to keep you from using your notes while you're trying to take an exam, just because I'm not going to sit in everybody's living room with them as they're trying to take the exams. So I just don't want you to share answers. These are not collaborative assignments where you should all get together and try to figure out what the best answer is to a question. I will never drop you for a lack of attendance. That's something between you and your counselor. If you think it's best to drop this class because you don't have time to work it into your schedule, then that's something that you need to decide. I'm not going to make that decision for you. So what happens then is people do fail my class. I don't like it. I hope that one day, maybe this semester, I will teach a class that every single person will pass. That would be my dream. But I do actually have students who do not pass because they just, life gets in the way and they are not able to finish the semester, and they don't drop in time. So you will have every opportunity to observe religious holidays, and you have time to get sick, you have time to go to, a family member's obligation, something like that. You have plenty of time because this is an asynchronous class. So we don't need to worry about absences. You just need to participate in the discussion boards and participate in the quizzes by the deadlines so that you can not be counted as absent. So if you have any questions about this document, I would recommend that you shoot me an email and let me know what is confusing, and if I can't answer it over email, then we will discuss it. So I'm looking forward to this semester with you, and again, if you think of anything that I missed, then please just shoot me an email and I will address it later.